business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the pod.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. Every episode is an invitation, a reminder that business and life isn't just about profit. It's about purpose. It's about showing up with a servant's heart in every deal, every decision, every day. Today's guest is going to light you up more than you can imagine, guys and girls. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be challenged. And most importantly, you're going to walk away with tools to inspire action, both in your life and in your professional life. And that's going to help others. And before we dive in, here's your homework. How are you going to serve yourself and others today? It doesn't have to be big impact. Even a small act of kindness or courage can change the game and the impact you make with others. I get to do it every day, and it's the greatest feeling in the world. I know my guest does too. I've never asked him that, but I'm sure he's impacting people every day. So lean in, take notes. Let's discover how servant leadership in business can create ripple effects that last far beyond the bottom line. I want to thank my incredible sponsor, Pantheon, a community where big thinkers come to grow, challenge norms, create real impact. If you're ready to lead with purpose and connect with others doing the same, this is where you belong. Find the link in the show notes and step into the conversation. And hey, quick shout out to Epic Impact, the 4-step storytelling framework that's transformed how I pitch, post, and podcast. If you're a coach, founder, or creative, we say creator, if you're that too, trying to connect with your audience and move them to action. This is your secret weapon. Engage, persuade, inspire, and close. I use it every day, and it works. AI alone can't tell your story, but paired with the proven Epic framework, it can move mountains. Grab your free Epic Impact Starter Kit at epicimpact.com and start engaging hearts, persuading minds, and inspiring action with every message. And I want to thank guests and audience out there. We just got named top 20 in small business marketing. You guys are awesome. I love you all. And my guest is just going to add to this. Let's bring on our guest. Jason, welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast.
Steve, thank you so much for having me. And hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for watching.
Big shout out to you. Thank you for your service. Navy, I believe. I might be wrong.
Navy, yes, sir. You
Navy
got it
branch. Right. Yeah, that's great. You got this club. I've been looking at it for a week. When we tried to connect last week and we had a technical faux pas, and here we are. The No More 9 to 5 Club. That sounds exciting. Tell me more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I should probably preface the club with a little bit of my story. I grew up poor. I didn't have a silver spoon, and I realized I did not enjoy the life that I was given. So I decided to make a change from the military, from the Navy, to getting out and assisting veterans overcoming barriers to employment, to a sales career in real estate. I basically was able to build a life that I did not need an escape from. I was happy. I was satisfied. I had everything I needed, including the ability to homeschool my kids and plant fruit trees all over my yard, which I didn't have at my my first job outside of the military. I lived in an HOA, and they told me I wasn't allowed to plant a tree. So I didn't feel like I had much power and authority over my life, and I needed to change that. So after I was able to build my dream life, the life that I didn't need to escape from, I got into philanthropy. I went back to school for my MBA. I started learning about quantum enlightenment and vibrations and all types of other really cool, intriguing stuff. And I wanted to serve more people. I wanted to help other people join me in this life, right? I wanted them to have financial freedom, time freedom. I wanted them to show up happy every day and have an unshakable confidence that they could show up as their best self, and they could actually serve and be a value add to themselves, to their family, to their community. So as I started exploring this idea of the No More 9 to 5 Club, it's not just for people working a 9 to 5 that want to quit early. It's not just financial freedom, save, earn, and invest money, but it's also for the entrepreneurs out there who are already making an impact, who are already adding value and exchanging it successfully. Because once you start your own business, sometimes you can end up wearing all the hats in that business. And it's important to be able to automate, to be able to market, to be able to serve people while still maintaining your own freedom. So yes, we help 9 to 5 workers save, earn, and invest, but we also help entrepreneurs buy back their time.
It's fantastic. I get asked this all the time, Jason. You're a great guy to ask this. Can I be an entrepreneur, and what do I need to do that?
So, money is only an exchange of value, right? And a lot of people don't realize when they're going to work, they're adding value, whether it's one position and they don't understand the big scope of what their business does, they could be a cog in the wheel. If you, however, decide to take the bold step in exchanging value on your own outside of an organization that's already tried and true, you can totally be an entrepreneur. Now, we've all heard the sayings that a lot of entrepreneurs are going to fail, just like a lot of restaurants are going to fail. So it's my goal to find those people who have an entrepreneurial bone and make sure that they know what they're doing before they start investing too much time or resources, because there can be a large learning curve. I've learned a lot of very, very valuable lessons. And if I didn't have mentors pouring into me, not always free, sometimes I spent good money on them, I would be leaps and bounds behind where I am now. So yes, you can absolutely be an entrepreneur, but I'm not going to promise you that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and all you got to do is walk around the corner to get it.
Thank you, because that's the thing that people like. Real estate's a perfect example. They see people sell. Well, you did real estate, so you know. They see you sold a home, you made 50K. Let's say I'm in California, so it's a lot more. Well, I could do that and jump in, and a year later, I haven't sold a home, and guess what? They've left their job, no sales, they're struggling. What do you say to somebody that thinks has that thought process?
Well, I'm going to say this: the entire quality of your life is contingent upon the quality of your thoughts. So whether you're going to be an entrepreneur, whether you're going to seek financial freedom, or you're going to seek daily comfort and kind of appease your way through life, it's important that you start learning how to be your own best friend in your own mind, how to be your own coach, how to be your own guru. I can tell you every single step that I made that won. I can tell you every single step that I made that led to a lesson learned. But at the end of the day, each of our paths are going to be completely unique. And it all starts with what you do on a daily basis. Do you wake up in the morning and get into fight or flight mode by reading bad news? Or do you spend time practicing gratitude and making sure that you're calm and clear and collected? A lot of good things come to those people who understand how to tame the thoughts first.
I love that, because that's what it is. Your subconscious leads everything. As mentioned John Mitchell, the book I read, 95% of our thoughts come from the subconscious and 5% from the conscious. And you've got to control that subconscious, and you're helping with that. In the military, as I mentioned, you were in the Navy. How did that help your sales career?
Well, I wanted to be a nuclear engineer, so I was always good at math. And when I got into the Navy, they were like, "Oh yeah, you're kind of floating." And I ended up being an aviation technician. I went to school for it, and I volunteered to be a prison guard in Guantanamo Bay because I wasn't too enthusiastic about turning wrenches on airplanes. So while down there, I earned my first medal. I showed up and excelled in everything I did. The CIA ended up selecting me to assist with interrogations. And, between being exposed to different cultures and actually learning things, I was one of those guys that did not keep my mouth shut. I had a nickname, No Shame McNamara, because I would speak my mind, regardless of whether the chain of command didn't like it or not. And I was able to actually sell my chain of command a better work schedule for the rest of us enlisted folks. And that was one of my impressive highlights while doing what I was doing, when I realized mathematically that we were being overworked and there was no reason for me to sit there so many hours twiddling my thumbs. When I first approached it, the chain of command, they said, no, McNamara, go back to work. So then I went and I rallied up some of my other supportive troops and I said, y'all double check my math. And if y'all like this idea, come back to the chain of command with me. So when a couple of us walked through the door, it was a little harder to ignore. Guess who got a lot more time fishing? So I always tell people sales starts from when you're born. Every single time you're hungry, you cry. That's you selling yourself to get what you want. So everybody sells whether they like it or not. We all have to learn how to communicate and exchange value in some manner or other. And, mine started off long before I was in Guantanamo Bay. Now, after, I will tell you, when I got out, I was able to get my early out and honorable discharge and the last job, because they asked me if I wanted to make a career of it. And of course, again, I didn't get excited about the idea of turning wrenches on airplanes. So I said, no, I kind of want to go home. I want to start my life. And again, I kind of landed a really easy job. I don't know if you ever heard of dedunk duty, but for the last couple of months I was in the military, all I had to do was stock a vending machine. And that's because I knew how to communicate.
That is crazy. And probably paid pretty well for stocking a vending machine too.
Yeah, there were some other guys in my command that were jealous because we all got the same pay. And they were still showing up turning wrenches every day while I would make sure that their monsters were in stock.
They were hydrated and fed, and you were good to go. And they had to work that hard. I love it. What a great story. And I love asking military veterans like to do this question. What is your definition of a servant leader?
So, I've experienced a lot of different types of leaders. And one of the things that I've always practiced is the golden rule. I like to treat others the way I want to be treated. And specifically when I was in sales to be a trusted advisor, I treated everybody as if they were my grandma or somebody's grandma, right? Integrity matters a lot. So a servant leader is somebody who understands that leadership is not just about them taking all the credit and trying to take all the glory. It's about looking out for the people you're leading. It's about making sure that they have food on their tables, that they're heard, their needs are addressed, and they're ready to follow your lead because you have their best intentions at heart.
I love that. And what do you tell people that say, I'm not sure I could be a servant leader? Can anybody be a servant leader? Or is there a skill set or a thought process that needs to accompany that?
Well, that's definitely a skill set and a thought process. I kind of got to a level of clarity and enlightenment through what I like to say was the Western side of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I had my social circle. I had absolutely all of the bottom blocks on the pyramid nailed down. So when I got to that top of the pyramid, I didn't have needs. I didn't have desperations or fears or anxieties because I've been able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. It's a lot easier to be a servant leader. It's a lot easier to be philanthropy minded once you've knocked out all the needs that you have as a human being. Now, is it possible to be a servant leader without having all those knocked out? Absolutely. It might take a little bit of meditation. I know that on the Eastern side, there's a lot of monks that don't worry about whether or not they're hungry to show up as their best self. Of course, our Western culture is a little bit different. So there does need to be, I think, a re-indoctrination or a re-education because we're not taught how to be servant leaders in school. We're not even taught financial literacy.
Oh, then that's the failure of school. I might get emails because of this, but you're right. We're not teaching our kids the right things. We weren't taught the right things, even though we're a different age. And it's interesting why I love asking military veterans like you is I heard a story of a general who went to all the people below him, I don't know what they call them, I guess his lieutenants, and told him, I made a mistake and I could have killed 100 soldiers. It didn't, but you veterans in the military, I said that wrong, but you know what I mean. Your humbleness is so powerful. If he's going to do that, then I could say, I'm sorry, I wrote the wrong thing. He's telling his whole, I screwed up and I could have killed people. Where does that come from in the military?
No, that comes from an allegiance, a camaraderie, a commitment to each other, to keep each other alive, to have each other's backs, to win the mission, right? We're not joining the military to show up there and, push the next guy down so we can finish the race and be number one and get the award. We want to make sure we carry the whole team across the finish line and every single one of our brothers or sisters survives to win another day.
And that starts from the top down, from that top general to the guy cleaning the bathrooms. What's the word they use?
The latrines, the
latrines.
It depends on which branch, right? In the Navy, we call them the heads.
The heads. There we go. Okay, we'll use there because the heads. Yeah, see, that's what's interesting because in business, and you've probably dealt with business people where it's not cross board from the top to the bottom, and the culture isn't good, and that leads to the Mind Trainer Pro. I'm big a mindset guy. I want to learn more about this. I'm sure the audience does too. Tell me more about what you've done.
All right. So I am not a neuroscientist, but I have befriended one. The top brain entrainment expert in the world is my partner. And we have made an extension of the No More 9 to 5 Club called Mind Trainer Pro because I realize the importance of being able to shift people's limiting beliefs, shift their mindsets. And I didn't want to just have to do it through a bunch of recordings and Zoom meetings. I needed real technology. I myself was a veteran struggling severely with PTSD. I went through cognitive processing therapy. I still have it in the back of my mind. I still don't like crowds. I still don't like certain things, certain people, what I like to say lower vibrational people or people that are in that desperation will still trigger me. Like, do I have to worry about this person pickpocketing me? Point is, I've done my shadow work and I want to help other people do their shadow work, whether it's for PTSD or peak performance. Mind Trainer Pro is set up scientifically to target and retrain the brain. The brain actually operates at different frequencies for different thoughts and different feelings. And when you can realign your brain's frequency through consistent retraining, and it's as simple as just putting on a pair of headphones, you can actually dig deeper neural trenches and pathways to shift the way you think in the future and feel. We even have a lean mind method that's for weight loss. We have a menopause method for women going through that. We have different systems for different folks, and the science is back there. This has been tested by government and non-governmental organizations. It's been researched and edified by some very successful and influential doctors and psychologists. So the results are real. And we've been one of the first systems we set up, and I know we're not talking about the nonprofit, is the PTSD version. Not because I needed it personally, but because I knew people that were still struggling. And when you put the mission over the commission, the results are real.
You got me, my head is spinning right now because that's so powerful. Tell us a story of somebody using Mind Trainer Pro and what the benefits were.
Sure. I mean, let's talk about the golf system, right? We had people that have been playing golf for decades. They started using Mind Trainer Pro and they come back to report that they shaved like 8 swings off of their 18 cores, like something that they've been doing consistently. Yeah, they're 8 under now. That's just one example. Let's say we had a client that was struggling with sleep. They would fall asleep. They could only sleep in the flat prone position. They started using this within 3 days. For the first time in 20 years, they were able to sleep on their side through the night.
That's impactful. That's life-changing. I can see why you're excited about it. We'll get the information how you can get that, because I do want to dive into the nonprofit, because not that you've not done enough, 9 to 5 Club, now Mind Trainer Pro. Now you go, okay, I'm going to launch a nonprofit. Not that you're super, have a lot of time, but what was the mission of the nonprofit? What inspired you to do that?
Well, I guess I got to go back to the first version of the No More 9 to 5 Club. For-profit business, I didn't have any paid offers. I literally just wanted to reach the masses and tell everybody the true path to financial freedom is to save, earn, and invest money. So we started off by giving tons of free value, free courses, free mastermind sessions for the good people who wanted to do better. And then I realized that we had all this free value that we're already giving out. Why not make it legit a 501c3? And then partnered that with our DBA, Mind Trainer Pro, and what we're trying to give out to free for veterans. We decided to make the No More 9 to 5 Foundation to serve aspiring entrepreneurs and transitioning veterans. So whether you're an entrepreneur, a veteran, or you're just a good person looking to do better, I want them to know that they can come into the No More 9 to 5 Club ecosystem without having to whip out a credit card, because that's just who we are.
Yeah. Servant's heart right there, audience. If you wanted a whole definition of the servant's heart, he just went over in the last 10, 15 minutes. It's so if you're a veteran entrepreneur, they can jump into the nonprofit foundation and get all this training that you're talking about.
Absolutely. So we already give everybody free training, but veterans get extra special free training and extra special treatment.
Wow. I love it, because I always say if I started a company, Jason, half my staff would be from military, because discipline, resilience, and everybody, audience, I've said this many times, you understand, because that's what it is. What you learn in the military, if we put that in school, the world would be a different place. I'm going to stop there because
I love working with veteran business owners too. A lot of veteran business owners that I've ran into, our high ticket stuff is all marketing and tech implementation. So when you have a veteran who has a successful business, sometimes they get the runaround out there in the marketing world with companies that are really quick to say, send me $30,000, but not as quick to actually give them the results for what those $30,000 should have done, right? Not deliver on the promises. Yeah. So, we use that same brotherhood mentality where I'm not going to take somebody's money if I don't think I can legitimately help them. And that's how the club actually funds its nonprofit mission. It's by serving people who are already exchanging value on the mass market, and we help them do it better. Yeah.
And that's where the value is. Here's this, but you take it to the next level, so you get more out of that. It's powerful. This might be a tough question. You're a smart guy, so it wouldn't be. So I've heard people say, I cannot be successful, Steve. I don't have the skill set. I don't have the network. I don't have this. I don't have that. What would you tell that person?
Well, that's what we call a limiting belief. And if they believe it, it's true. If they decide that that's not for them, that's also true. And it's really a choice. First of all, they have a network. We do free networking on the first and third Saturdays, along with a whole bunch of other free meetings. So if you think that you can't show up and change the trajectory of your life and you don't have a good network, come join the No More 9 to 5 Club. welcome. We're your new friends. We're going to motivate you. We're going to inspire you. And again, we don't need your credit card. If and when you're ready to convince yourself that you're better than that, we'll be here to assist.
Success is agnostic to people, color, race, gender, does not matter. Success, you go chase success, you're going to be successful. If you try to let it chase you, you're going to be, I just made that up. That's pretty good. You're not going to be. And why do you have the answers? I love it. I've got a network. Do you want a network? So you've got the whole package here. Somebody's listening and they go, man, I really want to be an entrepreneur. Come to No More 9 to 5 Club, and you've got pretty much everything covered for them to get them started.
We have meetings twice a month with the brain entrainment expert. We have meetings twice a month with lifestyle medicine experts that talk about health and wellness. We have meetings twice a month with a movie director who made the Think and Grow Rich movie. We have wealth creation events, marketing masterminds, veteran philanthropy meetings. We even have a goal-getting meeting. If you are in the No More 9 to 5 Club and you got a goal, but you don't know how you're going to get it, bring it to the goal-getting mastermind where we discuss your goal, and we use a whole bunch of people smarter than me that come and talk for a few minutes on what they would do or ask you questions to inspire new ideas and thought processes. The goal of the No More 9 to 5 Club for me, for our summits, like we do 3-day summits every single quarter on wealth, well-being, and wisdom, is that before somebody shows up, whatever their questions or their fears or their goals were, that after they come and they raise their hand and they open their mouth and they get answers, they move differently right after. Like their life is going to change because they decided to show up and ask the right question. That's all you have to do is just be brave enough to ask for help.
Yep. And then take action, of course. And that's part of all that. People ask the question, you go to them, Jason, hey, did you do this? And a week later, they go, did you do it yet? No, that's not on Jason or 9 to 5 Club. That's on you. Be very transparent. I've done that. I've worked with people and it's on you. You got to take action.
One more thing on that is
ahead.
Clarity and consistency. So I realized who I can serve successfully, and that's for people who have clarity, who have confidence. If you want to show up and you want, one goal this month and another goal this month and another goal that month, you have shiny object syndrome. You are looking at every single squirrel as you're driving by down the highway, and you're not going to get to where you're going. So you need to really measure twice and cut once. That's really important to know where you're going and what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with pivoting. There's nothing wrong with making room for improvement. But I don't want to work with the type of clients that just don't have it figured out. We'll work with you, but we're going to help you figure it out first. Does that make sense on the coaching side, not the marketing and tech implementation?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole goal of the coach, whether it's sports or business or whatever. What does No More 9 to 5 Club and Mind Trainer Pro look like in the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I've had a long-term goal, right? And I've actually rebuilt the club multiple times. When I first launched it, it was incredibly popular. We were having huge turnouts. People were selling me money. I didn't even have payment processors, but I didn't do it for that reason. I didn't do it for the money. I didn't do it for all the people who wanted to chase the shiny objects. So the goal and where we're at now is we've attracted other servant leaders. We've attracted the people who can show up and authentically network and not sit there and ignore everybody in the room while they're nervously thinking about their pitch in their head. That's not our people. So in the next 3 to 5 years, I can see us getting stronger as a community and a whole lot of other valuable organizations and valuable thought leaders seeing the value of the community of the No More 9 to 5 Club. And I've always had the intention that just like I try to give away the best of my value for free, I want other corporations and top level leaders to look at this amazing community and say, I'd like to offer this community more value.
Jason, preach that to the rooftops. I'm right next to you. Give your stuff away. Do it all the time. They're going to need you. And I had a great phrase, and one of my guests said, Matt, he said, I'll give you the recipe, but if you need to cook, I'll cook it for you. So here's a recipe, exactly. And I love that. It's so cool. Let's end with a fun question. I hate to end this show. You're so awesome. So I got a table at a restaurant reserved for you. It's a table of 4. You're going to sit in one of the chairs. In the 3 empty chairs, whether dead or alive, who would you invite to sit in those chairs, and what food would you order?
All right. So it's you and me already, and we got 3 empty chairs, right?
Amen. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to invite my buddy Maury, the neuroscientist. I'm going to also invite Jesus Christ because I think that would be an amazing dinner. And you know what? Just for fun, let's bring in Napoleon Hill. And I think we're going to have Indian food. It's going to be a vegan meal. That's where
Thank
we're
you
going.
for inviting me. It doesn't happen all the time I get invited. That's okay, but I appreciate you inviting me. This is great. Thank you for taking the time and being very transparent and being a blessing to people and continuing that in the next 5 to 10 years. I know people listening are going, Jason, how do I get involved? How can they reach out to you and connect with you?
The no more 9to5club.org. We're all over social media. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook, me or the club pages. Again, if y'all Google it, it'll pop up. You can, use the talk to text and just say the No More 9to5 Club and you'll find it. Same thing with Mind Trainer Pro or the No More 9to5 Foundation, or whatever way you want to get involved, inspired, or bring somebody that we can serve. We'd appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jason. This is, audience, you bring on somebody you just meet for the first time. And well, we met last week by blessing now in 5-10 minutes, and you do a 25-minute show and you just, thank you. You're just amazing. And audience, reach out to him. I'm going to stay connected. I'm going to support him in any way I can, because this is something we need to do in the world, not this new stuff that's going on. Let's dump that stuff. Let's worry. Let's do good things like taking care of people. And audience, here's your homework at the end. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I know people, when you hear that, they're like, hey, he's building his numbers, and that's probably part of it. But here's what I see podcasts. And let's use Jason's podcast, for example. You're listening going, my friend wants to be successful, but he's struggling. Take the link and share it with them and go, man, just listen to this guy, Jason. He's unbelievable. And they listen and they take action. They join the club. They come to one of the networking, whatever they do, and you've impacted them. Isn't that a gift? I think it is. So whether it's my podcast or any other podcast, I truly believe podcasts can be gifts, impactful, and make a change and inspire people. With that being said, me and Jason want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. We'll see you all on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.